Uh, this can sort of go in your notes here, because I want to solve one thing. When do you use the quadratic formula? Okay, one if you're in the quadratic formula section. But when you use it is when you're solving an equation, right? When do you complete the square? Okay, if you're given a question, you don't know whether you're going to quadratic formula to complete the square. What is the key word in a word problem that will tell you that you must complete the square? Go ahead. Sort of. Not, it could be vertex. Yeah. Let's say it's a word problem. If I say Spider-Man swinging through the air, what's his vertex? They won't say that though. What's the key word? Max or min. Okay. So it says find the maximum, minimum, optimal, highest, lowest. Vertex works too, right? Because people always get confused on word problems. They say, I don't know what to do. Okay, right? If it's a word like that, you're looking for something, those are the key words. For quadratic formula, it's anything else. When will the ball have a height of 3 meters? Okay, because that's a solve it. Or when does the ball hit the ground, or something like that. When will you $1 million, whatever. Okay, that's all going to be quadratic formula. Okay, so this is number 4 on page 558. Says a model rocket is shot straight into the air. Its height in meters at t seconds is given by h equals -4.9 t squared plus 29.4 t. When does the rocket reach the ground? Okay. This question is right out of a grade 10 textbook. It's probably a grade 10 final exam. All right. Yeah, I'm picking on you first. Sure, I'm not enough. That's better now. When it says when does the rocket hit the ground, what information does that give you? Does it give you your height or your time? What's the height going to be when it hits the ground? What's the height going to be when it hits the ground? Height's going to be 0, right? So we're going to solve h equals 0. Now you could use quadratic formula to solve this. I'm not going to use quadratic formula. I'm going to factor. Okay? You might say, Mr. Shaw, how are you going to factor that? There are only 2 terms. How do you factor some of the 2 terms? There's only one possible way. Well, difference of squares, but you can't difference of squares because there's not a t there. How do I factor some of only 2 terms here? Oh goodness. Brian's with Bonham tractor. Common factor, good. Okay, wonderful. So what I'm going to do is, as far as what's common here, if you can't see the -4.9 is common, that's fine. We at least take our t for both of them. Okay. In fact, -4.9 is actually common. And you're left with t minus 5. If you want to use quad formula for that, go ahead. Okay, you'll get the same roots at the end. All right. For quadratic formula, a would be -4.9, b would be 29.4, and c would be 0. Right, for the a, b, and c if you're using it like that. Okay, this we're doing.
Sorry, if you put that into quadratic formula,
Yeah.
would you, like when it's -4ac, would you actually put the c still?
No, so c would be 0 then.
So then you don't put it in, because otherwise you're like that.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, no, it would make the other thing 0, so it should be -4 times -4.9 times 0. So like that negative part should cancel out.
Can you still do the quadratic formula?
Yeah, so do that next. You guys like the quadratic.
It'd be -6.
No, it'd be +6 and
Yeah,
-0.
it'd be t -6.
Yeah, I'll do that in 1 second. Grace, I'm going to pick on you. Let's do our roots here back. Grade 10. How do we find our roots from here? Okay, let me help you here. How do you find our roots? Jennifer, I'm picking on you. So this is what a part of the thing. If you have 2 things multiplied to get 0. We did this in this class, didn't we? Have you not done this yet? We did this in this class. Can we do this? We do this or we not do this? Do we know this yet? Yeah? I think we did. I think we have.
Yes.
Okay, Jennifer, if you're brave and solve for t, please, on the left-hand side. To get plain t by itself, what do you do?
T equals 4.9.
Close. Right, because like you're just dividing, like it's negative 4.9 times t, right? So you're just dividing by 4.9. Quinn, how do you isolate t on the right-hand side, please? T equals 5. Now, this is significantly easier than the quadratic formula. That's why I do it by factoring. And actually, most of the questions on that page, and then there's Summer and I were going through these questions at lunch, and most of them would actually factor. Okay, Summer wanted to practice with quadratic formula. We don't mind me saying this. So she quadratic formulaed everything, but she had beautiful roots like 2 and 1/2, and like, you know, 2/3 and nice numbers like that. When you get nice numbers in the quadratic formula, it means that you can factor it. Sorry, hopefully that wasn't too offensive that I said that. Okay, so then I will do the quadratic formula method for those who want to quad formula. I'm going to close the door because I'm going to yell. Okay, so I'm going to ask a brave person named Bailey. Can you recite from memory the quadratic formula, please? Great. Okay, Alex, what's the A with B, what's the C, please?
For number 4.
We're still sticking with this one here.
So A would be negative 4.9.
Yeah.
B would be 29.4.
Yeah.
And C would be 0.
Good. Okay, so to go back, what Alana was wondering about here, when we sub this in, you're going to get x equals, x equals negative 29.4 plus or minus the square root of 29.4 squared minus 4 times negative 4.9 times 0. All over 2 times negative 4.9. Okay, so to say what you were saying here, yes, that 0 will cancel out the whole negative part. Okay, right? So, some of you calculator, Kyle, give a calculator, it was 29.4 squared. It could be a huge number, I think. Okay. And then the negative part cancels out. Now you can see why I prefer to factor it, because this is giving me a headache. Like 864.36, like that's tricky, right? All right, I'd like someone to use their brain here with not their calculator. What's the square root of 864.36 going to be? Use some logic. Luke, what's it going to be? 29. How'd you get that? It's right here, right? Like this 0 part's gone, right? So it's just going to be that. So it's going to be x is equal to negative 29.4 plus 29.4 over negative 9.8, or x equals negative 29.4 minus 29.4 over negative 9.8. Please turn off your text or whoever that person is. Thank you. All right. Oh, I was half sure that was your name. I was half sure it wasn't. What's negative 29.4 plus 29.4 equal to, please?
0, sorry.
0, no problem. It's all right. So this is 0 over negative 9.8. While you calculate it out, can you do this one for me? Because I can't do that in my head. Negative 6? What?
Yeah, you did it wrong with 5. It's 29.4.
Why don't you guys actually correct me at the time here then?
At the end of it.
Oh, I didn't hear you. So correct all next time. Sorry about that. Sorry. What's this? That's 59.8. That is right? 59? No, 59. I think they're at 58.8. So the question is, when will the rocket hit the ground? Luke, when will the rocket hit the ground? 6 seconds. Therefore, the rocket will hit the ground in 6 seconds. for the next question, I'm just gonna give you the equation, set the equation up. I'm not gonna work it all the way out because I wanna save some time to get to my lesson today, if that's okay. All right, as you can see, the left-hand board is less complicated than the right-hand board. That's why I stick to the left-hand board when possible. Okay, when you can factor, the answers will always be easier. So try and factor if you can. Questions, comments, and concerns? I was up at 4 o'clock this morning with my dogs. So if I lose on anyone today, I apologize. No shoe throwing, nothing like that. Okay, I'm going to do number 5 here right now. Reset the equation up. I'm going to set the equation up here right now. Okay, you guys answer squad for me, plug in your calculators, do your thing. Number 5, this one is, where's your book? Oh, I still need a book, by the way, remind me that I have it. Page 558, number 5, this is. This is a question that I put on here, but it's worded awfully. Okay? The question says, the population of a city is modeled by P equals 0.5 t squared plus 10t plus 200, where P is the population in thousands, so P and T is time with 0 equals the year 2000. So I want to know when is the population of 250,000. Okay, so this is, again, a tricky question because the wording is awful. Like the equation they made as difficult as they could because they have 2 things that are weird. Instead of one population, what does population in thousands mean? Go ahead. Yeah, that's good.
Oh, it means the financial will be divided by 1,000.
Yeah, okay, so if I say P equals 2, that means 2,000 instead of 2. If I say P equals -3, that means -3,000. Okay. The other thing that's tricky is the time T 0, 0, 2,000. So if I say T equals 8, what does that mean? 2008, okay? But those are just 2 little tricks they put in there for you, okay? Now here's the real trick. It says, when is the population of 350,000? With that knowledge, what is P going to equal? Because that's your variable population. So it says 350,000. What are we going to plug it in the equation as? Close. 350, not 35, 350. So we're just going to solve the equation, then 350 equals 0.5 t squared plus 10t plus 200. Now this is the part, Marissa, that causes me to throw my shoes. Please don't make me throw my shoes. When you're solving this equation, first of all, I know I'm using the quadratic formula because there's an equal sign, so I have to use it. What's the first thing you should do, please, before you use the quadratic formula? Marissa, it's you. Thank you. Okay. Remember, it always has to equal 0, right? So it's going to be 0 equals 0.5 t squared plus 10t plus 200 minus 350. 0 equals 0.5 t squared plus 10t minus 150. Are we sort of okay with what happened there? And then that's quad formula. I would probably make one change because I don't like decimals. Okay, I'm probably going to times everything by 2 to get rid of that 0.5. Okay, because I don't like decimals. So, but you can plug that right into the quadratic formula and get the right answer. But if I was solving this one, I'd times everything by 2 and get 0 equals t squared. And that'll actually factor for you, I think. But you didn't. Okay, so again, I'm not breaking any rules. I'm not breaking any laws there because like 0 times 2 is still 0 and you multiply it. Any question? Or? Yeah, because as long as you're doing the same thing to both sides, right? Because it's 0, you can get away with a lot of stuff. You just like bringing the fraction down to the lowest terms. That's basically all I'm doing. Then you can factor that in, or quadruplet out, like if you'd like. Okay, so but I'm going to keep going here because I want to actually teach you less today if I can. Okay. All right, what's the next page? 564, number 4. I'm sorry for saying this, I'm tired, so I'm not being as nice as I should be. I want to take up these homework solutions, they're valuable to do because if you guys have questions, that means I can explain things well, or at least understand them, okay? So, don't let me say, you know, I don't want to rush the homework, I don't, okay? But I think you guys should all take it from there, or don't think so. Okay. Here we go. This is page 564, number 4. It says, baseball is hit from a height of 1 meter. Its height after 2 seconds is h equals negative 5t squared plus 10t plus 1. A, we want the max height. And B, we want the time. All right. Thank you very much. So here's the thing. This equation is in terms of t and h instead of x and y. All right. So when you get your vertex, the vertex is going to like x comma y. Which one of those variables, Brad? Okay. Which one of those variables is like x and which one is like y?
H would be X or Y.
It is. Okay, now you got the whisper, okay? But just think, this is like y equals 5x squared minus 10x plus 1, right? Okay. So really, when you get your vertex, it's going to go like this. This is how your vertex is going to be, right? So your time, like the x value is going to be like your time, right? And the y value is going to be like your height. Are we okay with the logic there? The reason I'm going to need that is because when you want your height, you're going to grab this. Okay, so that's going to be your, right, the answer to part A. The answer to part B is just going to be your time. It's going to be that. Okay. All right, Emily, if we want the maximum, as soon as you hear the word maximum, what does that mean? Vertex. So that completes the square. Can you give me the first step, please? Give me the first step, complete the square. No? It's okay.
Negative 5.
Good, yeah.
T squared minus 2t squared.
Wonderful, tremendous, awesome. And Julia, can you give me the next step here, please?
Negative 2 divided by 2.
Okay. Which happens to be negative 1 squared, which happens to be 1. Great, tremendous, awesome. Chantal, what do we do next, please? Okay. Riley, what do we do next? Okay. So it's going to be negative 5 bracket t squared negative 2t plus 1 minus 1 plus 1. And I think, by the way, I'm going to skip the second warm-up, okay, because this is basically the second warm-up, it's like this one, okay, so I'm going to avoid that one. All right, Adam, what do we do now, please?
You times minus 1 by negative 5.
Good.
I just move the outside, right?
Excellent, good. So it's negative 5 bracket t squared minus 2t plus 1. I changed to plus 5 plus 1. Because we have negative 1 times negative 5, so we make a plus. Right, Nicole, can you finish this one off, please?
Negative 5 bracket 2x.
Good. If you weren't here yesterday, okay, what happened here was this little underlying number is the same as that little underlying number always. If you don't remember this from last year, that's okay. We'll see it again today as we graph. Tristan, what is my vertex here, please?
Plus 1 and plus 6.
Good. So my vertex is 1 and 6. All right. What will happen to somebody on their test, quiz, or assignment? I'll say, find the maximum height of the ball. And someone will say the maximum height of the ball is 1,6. And I will say, incorrect. That's not the maximum height of the ball. That's a point on the graph. Picking on you, Cole. What does the 1 mean and what does the 6 mean? Learn.
1 is 9.
Good? Good. So when it says the maximum height, part A will say the max height is 6 meters. And then B is just going to say the time is 1 second. Okay. will be someone on the final exam that will tell me the max height is 1,6, and I will shake my fist like this as I'm marking it. Okay, because that's not. Sorry, don't be scared, I'm tired, I apologize if I say anything mean, I'm sorry, I'm not threatening anybody, I'm not marking the paper wrong. Okay, somewhat good? You still want me to go through the warm-ups, or can I keep going? Because for the warm-ups, the way they went, just to make sure, the first was quad formula. So what you should have done is, you have two things that are equal, right? Make everything equal to 0, so slide everything to the left. And then A, B, and C. For letter B, for the letter B warm-up should have been something like this, right? So this is correct. Should have been fractions with it, so it should have been a little bit messier. Right? Good? I'm going to pause the video, and I'll take 2 minutes to load up. We are going to be graphing today, so if you do not have graph paper, gently ask your neighbor if you can borrow some. And then